Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Heroes Trek. I'm your host, Samir. That's right, it's me, Samir, and I'm back again to spend a couple of minutes of your day with you. As you can see, like everyone else, I'm growing my hair out because the hair salons, of course, are closed. So I am eventually going to look like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo or all those old characters from the 70s in those movies, or even Revenge of the Sith. But that's a story for another day. How about talking about this? This episode of Heroes Trek is brought to you by me, just for you, for the fans, just as a way of reaching out and enjoying and feeling that sense of community, which we all need in these crazy times. So I'm glad to see all of you, and for you to see me. So if you can, please take a moment to click that like button. The like button's right down there. And if you could also click on the subscribe button, which is down there, because that really helps the channel, especially new channels like mine, which are trying to get off the ground and trying to find an audience. And where is that audience? I'm looking. I'll find it one day. I think so. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys. Also, if you want to send us a tweet, you can tweet at Heroes Trek, and we'd be happy to respond. I'd be happy to respond. It's not, I love to talk to fans about comics and books and movies and TV shows and life in general, actually. Yeah, life in general. On that note, let's talk about this latest book, which I want to discuss. It reminded me of the old 60s Batman show. Not the fact that it's like cheesy and holy mackerel or holy cheesy whiz or hello old chum. Not that kind of stuff. Not cheesy anyway, but the sense of fun. Because Batman's a character that goes, it's a very versatile character. Superman may not be so versatile, right? Big blue Boy Scout, all that stuff, the stereotypes. But Batman is one of those characters where a good writer can do several things, and a bad writer too, of course. But a good writer can either play up the detective angle and make the story fun, and Batman can be more like James Bond, who travels the world, and just simply, does what James Bond does, but in a better way, in a batsuit. So it could be fun like that. Or a writer could take it in the other direction, where it's just like Batman, creature of the night, scaring criminals and men and women alike. The boogeyman, or something like that, right? Where it's really dark and Gotham's like a crazy place and all the insane villains and so on. So the Batman works in both mediums. So you had like for instance, you had Batman from the Silver Age, all that campy stuff, with the, all the different science fiction aspects to it and so on. And let's not forget Batmite and everything. Then you also had Batman from the Justice League International, where, he was serious, but underneath that he one punch. Remember One Punch? He knocks out Guy Gardner with one punch. And then you have Batman from the 90s and 2000s, and even up to today, where it's really dark and brooding. He never quite got over the parents being murdered in front of him, and now he's avenging creature of the night. This book is not the avenging creature of the night. This book is more of the fun Batman as James Bond, and this one is the book. Can you play the suspenseful music? Here we go. It is Batman Universe. That's right, Batman Universe. This book, this hardcover, standard size hardcover, not oversized, standard, is Brian Michael Bendis. When he was working primarily he was exclusive to Marvel Comics. He moved over to DC a few years ago and grabbed a couple of books like Superman. It's been spotty off and on. I mean, his Superman run has great concepts and ideas, but the execution of which sometimes works, sometimes not. I feel like his Action Comics work has been stronger than his Superman work, but that's another video. And this is his first Batman work, first time writing Batman, and this was released originally in those very controversial Walmart 100-page spectaculars, which were released at first only to Walmarts. You could only get it there, and so a lot of comic fans, either they rushed to Walmart to get these, or they just waited it out and said eventually they'll be released to the direct market, to comic book stores, and we'll get a chance to read it. Well, now finally, I think it's more than a year later, we get the hardcover of this story, and it's really fun. It's just fun, and it reminds me of Batman from the 70s or 80s, or 70s actually, more of the Silver Age Batman, going across the globe. And like the superheroes would bump into each other, have a quick team up, and then they'd go their own separate ways. So while Batman is on an adventure, other heroes would pop in and then pop out and go out. And this is sort of like that. So this is Batman Universe by Brian Michael Bendis, who is a fantastic writer when he doesn't give in to his own inner demons, that is, the writing demons. What do I mean by that is you always have to watch out Bendis about his staccato, I call it the staccato rhythm of conversation that he sometimes puts in these books. Now when he controls himself, like with Daredevil, with this book and so on, it comes out really natural and flowing. When he gives in to those inner demons too much, it becomes a very cardboard kind of, the conversation doesn't flow as well. In fact, it's like people just rapid fire gunfire going back and forth. Sort of like the West Wing done really badly, but it just goes back and forth, and that can be off-putting. But when he's on fire, and he's a very well respected, and I respect this writer as well, given a lot of great stories from Ultimate Spider-Man over at Marvel to Avengers to any of the Secret Invasion to any of the major events that have been going on throughout the past probably 2 decades. Bendis has been around at least that long, to his independent work as well, which is really well worth checking out, such as Powers, which is awesome, with Michael Avon Oming. Yeah, so well worth checking out. But let's talk about this book right here. Very surprising to me. I came into it with, no expectations. Who knew what it was going to be like? It's a self-contained story. It doesn't cross over, thankfully, with anything else. Doesn't tie into any other DC event, which is great. Doesn't have it's not a peg in like a multi-year build up to an event or anything of that nature. It's just a straightforward story with a beginning, a middle, and an end with a Batman you cheer for and work through with throughout the entire story. So let's read the back of the blurb, because I like to read that to give you an idea of what this is like and what the story is actually about. The Dark Knight embarks on a global adventure. The globe, yes, that's James Bond. Batman takes on an old foe outside of Gotham city limits when the Riddler's theft of a Fabergé egg leads the Dark Knight thousands of miles away in search of answers. When the immortal supervillain Vandal Savage joins forces with the Riddler, Batman is transported to the Old West and meets the original owner of the egg, gunslinger Jonah Hex. Now, I love Batman moving around the globe, but even better than that, I love Batman traveling through time, especially the past and the Old West and so on. And so this has a team up of Batman and Jonah Hex, and it is everything well worth the price of admission just to see the two characters interact. Two characters that normally don't interacting, it's well worth it just for that. So that's not the only character that Batman comes across. This is stuffed with fan favorite characters and interactions that Bendis really grabs and nails the characterization so well. He does a great job with it. Every character acts like themselves, which is really important because you don't want writers coming in who are new to the character and writing dialogue in a way that's out of character, so that it pulls the reader out of it, right? We don't want that. So that's what this book is chock full of fun, adventure. It's the artwork, I have to mention, I love the artwork. Love. It's by Nick Derington. Now, may not be a household name, but he's a fantastic artist. Recently, he did all the covers for the 12-issue Miracle Man series, which was, that just came out probably like a year and a half ago or so. The trade paperback and hardcover just came out half a year ago. That was written by Tom King with art by Mitch Gerards. Well, we're checking out, but Nick Derington did all the covers for that, the 12 issues, and his covers were so good. And so this book, when I saw it was drawn by Nick Derington, I was like, wow, the art, I gotta get it, gotta see what this is like, because I love those color covers so much. So, what do you have on the inside here? Well, on the flap, on the cover itself, well, you've got, the standard French flaps that they call them, I guess. And the back, of course, with the cover and the back cover. As you can see, Batman goes to Gorilla City, which is great. Batman and gorillas, what more do you need? Right? And then Batman goes to the Old West, Batman goes to Thanagar. I mean, Batman is all over. This is not just global, this is This is universal. It's just all over. The inside is a fantastic cover by Nick Derington, which really shows like just Batman with the moon in the back. But you know what's so good about this picture? It's not brooding. It's not dark. It's not like I am Batman and I'm in anguish. It's Batman on an adventure, and that's what this conveys, and that's what's so good about it. Excellent artwork. I mean, Nick Derington does such a great job. Look at this. I mean, it's fantastic. Fantastic. You can tell I'm pretty excited about this. They also go to the locations in the DC universe, which I myself haven't seen for years, like Dinosaur Island. And who else would Batman go to Dinosaur Island with except for Green Lantern? That's right. So he goes to Dinosaur Island. I don't want to spoil the story because it's so much fun, and it's so clever in the way the story is laid out, and in the way Nick Derington actually does all the artwork. So clever, so funny, so funny. Yes, there's many humorous moments. The dialogue is really snappy. There's a new character for those who are completists. This is the first appearance of Ginny Hex, who is Jonah Hex's granddaughter. She's the lead, one of the main characters in the Bendis written Young Justice series, which is out through the Wonder Comics imprint at DC Comics. And that's also a very well written book, a lot of fun. And I think that Bendis does a great job with writing fun books. The drama's there. He knows how to do it. I mean, you have Batman, Jonah Hex, and Green Lantern in the Old West. Batman teams up with all these different characters. You've got Alfred, who's really funny. Vandal Savage, of course. Nightwing makes an appearance. The Green Lantern Corps. I mean, it goes all over the globe and all over the universe. I mean, look at this Nick Derington artwork for Gorilla City. You've got to see that. It's just so well done. I mean, he draws the gorillas nicely. Look at Gorilla City. And of course, Batman and gorillas. Enough said. I know that's Marvel, but hey. And just fantastic from beginning to end. I don't want to give anything more away about the book. There's a lot more to the egg. It really ties into a lot of the DC mythos and what's been going on in the DC universe. One of my main gripes of stories lately is and writers coming onto these stories, they don't introduce anything new. There's nothing new. They kind of take the existing chess pieces, rearrange them in different ways, and then they put them back the way they were when they're finished. And though this doesn't introduce anything new except for Ginny Hex, the pieces that are there are arranged. The chess pieces are arranged in such a way that the story feels fresh. If that makes any sense, it feels fresh. It feels fun. And again, Batman, Jonah Hex, and Vandal Savage, the Old West standoff. Need I say more? So, this is a great book. Excellent work by Brian Michael Bendis. Excellent artwork by Nick Derington, who's quickly become one of my favorite artists. I'm going to be looking for other work by him for sure. And if you know of any other work by him or books that are worth reading with his artwork, please leave a comment below. But Batman universe, well worth a trip through that universe for sure. Well, that's it for this time. Until next time, be safe, be happy, and be joyful, and appreciate all the joys in life, the family, the friends, comics that are good, and of course, hopefully, this channel, Heroes Track. So, if you liked the video, or even if you didn't like the video, and you can tell me how to improve my videos, please leave a comment below. Also, hit that like button. Hit the comments, of course. Hit the subscribe button, which is really important, the subscribe button. And if you want to tweet us, tweet at Heroes Track. Until next time, I'm Samir, your host, and I'm happy to be here and thankful that you let me in to your lives. See you next time. Okay.